So I'd love to hear a little bit about what you feel like is maybe your proudest professional moment and or your sort of most technically successful. And if those are the same thing, great, and if they're two different things, because sometimes I feel like they can be two different things.
Yeah, a couple projects come to mind that have been really deeply meaningful to me. One of them was with Lightbulb Media, and it's been fairly recent. You know, for a long time in higher education, people have seen the cost of education as being sort of a barrier. And with our CMU Promise tour that you were a part of, where we were able to take President Marshall and our admissions team and go out and visit the schools that arguably have been forgotten about, those rural communities, and also, as you recall, the adventures that we had over on the Front Range, going into schools that are in the urban environment and communicating to people who don't often get encouragement and or the message that college is accessible and it's affordable and it can be transformational. And doing that kind of work has been one of the more meaningful things that I've got to be a part of professionally in recent memory. The other one, I would go back a ways in my career. I worked for an energy industry trade association. And going back to what I said before about people in those type of professions being very technically oriented, so you have a lot of ologists, a lot of engineers of all sorts. They tend to be very myopically focused on the task at hand, how to make the valve turn, the widget work, the energy flow, so to speak, but often don't spend as much time thinking about why that work is so meaningful. And we were able to talk about how a lot of the energy produced in the Rocky Mountain West doesn't just go to keeping the lights on and the buildings warm and the things we typically associate with energy, but also is going to feed the world and create a food source for those who have little of it overseas. And we were able to draw that connection for people in all levels of the organization to understand that what they do had a really deep and profound meaning, and it was transforming lives and really doing something good in the world. And so those two things just off the cuff stand out at me as two examples of where I was able to take something deeply meaningful and parlay that out into the world, and that felt good.